I hope you're all super excited. We have been working, I can't even tell you how hard we've been working to make tomorrow the best it can be for us all. So I'll start just going through my slides. I hope you can see them all okay. Thumbs up, everyone. Everyone can see them. Brilliant. Thank you. Thanks. So today, like I say, I don't want to talk too much. I'd like to leave as much time for all of you to have the chance to talk. I'm going to put everybody on mute for those late joining, just so I haven't got any background noise. But I'll happily unmute when the time comes. So today, don't want to talk too much. I'm just going to go over a very briefly overview of what's going to happen tomorrow, give plenty of time for any questions, and just so that you all know, because we're recording this to share with other families that can't come, we don't want to talk about any individual children, if that's okay. So if you try and keep everything really general, and I'm happy to pick up anything after, about any, well, perhaps not tonight, tomorrow or the next day. So I just want to talk about, just introduce you to some of my team, give you a few headlines, talk about some dates, how we allocate school places, what's going to happen tomorrow, and then any steps that some of you may wish to take. Breathe. So my name's Louise and I'm the delivery lead. I've been with Admission since November and absolutely loving the job, and hopefully we'll make lots of happy families tomorrow. I'm very kindly joined this evening voluntarily by my colleague Catherine. Catherine, I don't know if you want to just...
Hi. Yeah, my name's Catherine Carey and I'm the admissions technical specialist. I've been in the role since December, but I was in admissions for a couple of years before that. So yeah, it's we're looking forward to tomorrow. Off a day's always good.
And I also have my learned colleague Scott with me. Scott, do you want to just say hello and who you are? And
yeah, good afternoon all. Yeah, I'm Scott. I'm team lead, one of the team leads in admissions. So yeah, as Louise said, any questions after today, we're here to help you moving forward.
So I've put a couple of other key names. Polly, who's one of our team leads, she's absolutely amazing. She's one of our new staff on board, and we've got a lovely lady called Kate, whose specialist area is the grammar schools. And along with all of them, I can't name them all, although I'd love to, but don't want to be here all night. We've got 21 staff here to help us all, and they're all amazing. So just a couple of headlines for you, just to put some context, just to offer how hard we've been working. We have done 7,373 school offers for Warwickshire children and some children that live outside of Warwickshire. And I'm really pleased to say we've managed to get 94% of parents first, second or third choice preference. So hopefully lots of happy families. I don't worry about remembering any of this because I will share afterwards, and it will be with you tomorrow in your information. National Offer Day tomorrow. We'll be sending you lots of information. And one of the key dates to remember is deadline for accepting offers is the 15th of March. Don't worry about this slide too much. I've put it in there for you to read afterwards. It just talks about how we allocate school places. Fundamentally, we use all of the schools' criterias. So all of our secondary schools are academies and therefore their own admission authorities. So we use all of their consulted on admission arrangements to use their criteria. So for the first time ever, we've got all the data ready in the parent portal for you all, for those of you that have applied online in Warwickshire. And when the clock goes past a certain time, all of that information will be available to you. So that's all there ready. So we're expecting it all to be with you by breakfast, hopefully 8 o'clock at the very latest, but a lot earlier if we've done our jobs right. And then we'll also be emailing you all a letter with lots of information and just to confirm that offer. So you'll have it twice, and we've only had, I think, 100 people that didn't apply online, and they've all going to receive a letter in the post. So if you take nothing away from today other than this slide, I'm more than happy, and I feel like I've done my job. Please, please, please accept your school place, and you can do that on the parent portal. You can also do it via our website with our online form. And please, please, please do it before the 15th of March. I mean, you can do it tomorrow, absolutely brilliant. If we don't hear from you by the 15th of March, we're going to start taking steps to offer that to another child. Some of you, if your school is over 3 miles, will wish to apply for free school transport, so please do that as soon as you can, tomorrow or very soon. Any of you that wish to appeal any schools that you didn't get a place at, you've got that right to appeal. We're really asking families not to decline any school places, unless, you know, you're moving out of county and you've got another school, you know, say in Wales or Scotland, or you're taking your children to independent schools, private schools. You can go online and decline the place in those circumstances. If any of you are not happy with the school place, please don't decline it. Go away and think about it. Go away and visit the school. You will remain on the waiting list. There's only very, very small amount of children we've not been able to give them any of their school choices. I think 0.11%, very, very, very low numbers. But yeah, please don't make any rash decisions. Have a think. We want you all to get excited about your new schools. So go and visit them, open days or the transition days, and please don't call us if you can help it. We are expecting large volumes of calls, and we really don't want you to get cross at us by waiting in a long queue. So make sure you read your letter. Go online. We've got lots of information on there. You know, if it is that we can't help, that doesn't help, then obviously then please do. But we you know, we don't want to make you cross by making you wait on our phone line. So if you can help it, please try and do everything online first. So, okay, I think I've said everything that I would like to say. Catherine, I don't think I've missed anything, have I?
No, you haven't. I was just going to add for the declines. If we would strongly advise that you don't decline the school place that you're offered, as Louisa said, because you do have recourse through the appeal process, and you do automatically stay on the waiting list for your preference schools. So by accepting the offer that's made, it just secures you a place definitely for September. It doesn't affect your right to appeal, and it will not stop you from being on the waiting lists. It does literally just mean that you are securing a place for September at this point.
Yeah, and waiting list for grammar schools is slightly different from our non-grammar schools, but again, all the information's in your letters and on our website. And just know that, you know, we care very, very much about all of your children, and you know, hopefully we've done everything right. But we will be available, you know, should you need us. And the online form can also be used as a way of asking us to contact you. You know, we are working round the clock, so we can, you know, accommodate any evening phone calls or anything like that. Just but bear with us, as it is a very, very busy time for us. But I think I would like to hand it over to the floor. So Scott, should we do sort of hands up, and then if people just remember that not to mention their personal information, so try and keep things quite general, and we'll do our very, very best to help. I can see we've got some questions already in the chat. Let me see if I can work out how to. So Jodie, thank you very, very much So Jodie, really good question. I love this question. So if you've applied for a school out of county, you will hear about that tomorrow. Yes. So we've been doing lots of data exchanges, phone calls, emails, you name it. We've been doing it with all of our bordering counties. So if we've been able to secure a school place at a border school, at another county school, we will let you know tomorrow. If we haven't secured a place at one of their schools, you'll be on their waiting list. Hope that helps, Jodie. Raja, what's the last date for any address changes to be considered for the first round of the wait list? That would be, I know the answer because I've been looking at all of your thousands of letters, at 15th of March.
Yeah. We need to know sort of by the 14th, because the reallocation rounds start on the 15th.
Yeah. So don't panic, even if you can't get your new address for that date. You know, some of you might be moving, waiting for proof, exchange of contracts or renting agreements. We're going to allocate school places right up until the 31st of August. Obviously, we don't want you to have to wait that longer. That will be a nightmare buying uniforms. But we will keep, you know, as much as we love all of our families, we love our schools, and we want to have all of the bums on the seats for them come September. So we will keep allocating. Right, so AF1, I haven't got a name for you. I'll share the slides, so don't worry. Please don't worry, I will share.
Patricia Barnett has said, what should we see on the parent portal if we log in tomorrow? I've just tried to log in now and it looks like it's asking me to apply for a school place, which is worrying. Yep. So on the parent portal at the top, there's a section where it's got account management. And I think if you click on account management, it'll then take you through to be able to see your offer.
But like I said, that'll be tomorrow.
Yeah,
it'll be the 1st of March, I promise. You know, failing, you know, providing the gods are against us and everything breaks. But if not, I'll personally ring everybody. But yeah, providing all of the technology works, yes, you'll definitely know before breakfast time. So your children can go off to school and talk about it. Hopefully that's my aim, that everybody will be talking on the playground about their new schools and getting super excited. Right, let me just see.
So the next one is if my child achieves the automatic qualifying score and meets all of the criteria for grammar school but is refused a place, how do I find out why that decision is made? If you fill in a form, a query form, we will then pick that up and have a look into it, and we will come back to you directly.
If you think there's something wrong. I mean, hopefully that's not going to be the case. I mean, let's be positive. 94.4% of families have got first, second or third choice. I mean, ultimately, we'll go with the criteria of the admission arrangements. So all the answers will be in those admission arrangements. But if you really think that we've done something wrong, then yeah, by all means, give us a call. I mean, just to give you some background on this, we don't just put all of your children into a computer, get the decision, and that's it. We check again. We check with schools. We check with colleagues in other services to say, listen, let's just keep checking. Literally, that's what we've been doing for the last 2 months, making sure it all looks right. Those of you that have got siblings, those of you whose children have got siblings at the same school, you know, making sure all of these things, or any children that have got family as staff. So right.
Okay, so Patricia Barnett then said, can you explain how we would hear about the outcome of being on a waiting list for another school? So we don't give out waiting list positions because they change so regularly. So we don't contact you. If you want to find out where your child currently sits, then you can get in touch with us and ask for that information. But you must be aware that they go up and down. So if you're number 5 on a waiting list tomorrow, it doesn't mean you're going to stay at number 5, because we will be taking in late applications before the first reallocation round. So it is only a that you call, so it just gives you an idea. But we don't actively contact you with waiting list positions for those schools.
But what we will do is, so if, say for instance, somebody had applied for Cardinal Newman, which is just over the border in Coventry, and we got confirmation that we were able to offer a school place at Cardinal Newman, we would contact you.
Yes.
So I guess really for those of you, and it will be a very small percentage that don't get the school choice, you know, please have patience. We'll do all that we can to get you that place. So we will contact you, you know, should a place become available and we're able to make an offer. Right.
Okay, from Anish Roy, we've got hypothetical question. I'm from a neighbouring county where I have given my first and second choice in Warwickshire. My council says that if I'm happy with my offer, I don't need to do anything. So in that case, I will assume it's all okay with my school choice in Warwickshire. I don't need to do anything else.
Sadly not, I'm afraid. So we've tried to change it this year, but because we're quite new, you know, obviously we you know, some ideas we've got to wait until, you know, we've been in this role a bit longer. We want to do auto acceptance. So basically, if you get your school choice that you want, we'll auto accept it for you, and then next year, and then you don't need to do anything. But it's not likely we can do that for next year. So those of you that don't live in Warwickshire and your authority does auto acceptance, you will need to contact us to accept. And I know, for example, with Coventry, I've spoke to Coventry, lovely staff there, and said, you know, please tell your families to contact us. And I did look on their website, they, you know, it does say for you to contact us.
And so, next, we've got, so just to clarify, I've applied online. Do I have to log onto the portal to find out my choice, or will I get an email as well?
You'll get both.
Both. So you get an email which asks you to log on, doesn't it?
Yeah, but it will, you will have an offer letter attached to that. So in truth, I'd rather tell you 10 times than tell you not at all. You'll get an email to say, here's your offer with your letter and all the details, and you'll be able to log into the parent portal, so you'll be able to see it twice. But like I say, I don't apologise for that. I'd rather you get it 10 million ways that you know that rather than we don't tell you at all. So.
What time will the information be posted on the portal tomorrow, please?
Like I say, I want to have it to you with you all by breakfast. The hope is it will be a lot sooner, but I don't want to make any promises I can't keep because I'm in the lands of the technology now. But I'm doing a bit of a Cinderella on you all and hoping to have it all with you by breakfast and yeah.
Okay, next one is what does it take to win an appeal, assuming first or second choice isn't offered, but third choice is?
I have done over 100 appeals. Well, I've probably done about 500 appeals since November. I've done a lot of appeals. I would say, first of all, don't go down that road with any joy and any luck. You've all had the school place that you want. If you do don't get the place that you're offered and you're going into the world of appeals, all I would say is bring yourself, bring your case, you know, bring the reasons why you really want that school. Just that's all I would say. Just, you know, you don't need to, it's a formal process because it's a legal process, but just bring yourself and just bring your story. That's all I would say, because, you know, I have cried at appeals, you know, when you know, just, yeah, it's, yeah, I don't know if that helps.
I think we answered the next one. I went back to it, but it was about getting in touch with us if there's an automatic qualifying score issue for grammar schools, is to let us know the information and we'll look at it. So I came back to that.
So if you live in Solihull and you need to apply for transport, contact Solihull. So assuming you get free school transport, I'm not aware of Solihull's transport policy, you'll need to contact Solihull.
What options are open to parents worried about being allocated a place at a school they are now not confident about, i.e. at a time of application, Ashlawn was rated outstanding and now it's rated inadequate?
Yeah, I mean, this is a really sad one. We've obviously been following it closely. I mean, we love all our schools and hope everything will, you know, will will be on the mend again as soon as possible. I mean, I guess what I would probably say is, if you're not certain, you know, arrange some kind of conversation with the school, whether that be a chat or a visit or whatever. Go along and speak to the school, and ideally any families that you know that send their children there. Don't make any rash decisions. You've got to the 15th of March. You know, if you're not happy with the application you've already made, just make a new application online. Make sure you include any schools that you'd previously applied for, because that application will override what's already in there. And then, you know, we'll look at that afresh.
I was not able to see the grammar school result in the parent in the portal due to an issue with my application. So is it possible to see the school allocation in the portal? Yes, it should be, because all of those issues, I believe, were rectified. We're not aware of any offers that haven't been pushed through the portal. So yes, you should be able to see your offer, but either way, you would receive an email with the offer letter.
Yeah, so like I said, we've covered both bases. Letter and parent portal, and you know, in that scenario, if you're not able to get, for whatever horrible reason, you don't get either, you know, in that point, then, you know, obviously please do give us a call or ask for a call back. And you know, we've got all of our staff in the offices tomorrow, all on the phones. Catherine and I will be on there too. We did try and get our service manager to come in and answer some phone calls. He wasn't quite so keen, but you've certainly got the rest of us. So whilst I don't want to speak to anybody, because I hope you're all super happy and you'll have a great day doing lots of lovely things, if you do need us, we will be there.
Okay, somebody's had issues with getting in onto the meeting today. I'm sorry about that, but it is being recorded and it will be uploaded onto the website, so you'll be able to view it from tomorrow.
And like I said, we're not saying anything that isn't in the information letters. Whilst Catherine is very clever, I am not. So everything I've learned that I've discussed is all in that information letter. So
I think we've answered this one. If I've applied for schools outside, will I still find out on the portal? Yes. For different LAs? Yeah.
We will have lots of information for grammar schools on the website tomorrow, including a leaflet. So yes, that's actually all on the website now. It should be, shouldn't it, Catherine? I think we've already put that on. Yeah, we've already put that on. An appeal process. Again, we don't want to be thinking negatively, so hopefully nobody will need to appeal. But if you do, that is a legal process, which is all discussed on the website. And usually I think the decision is within 7 days, but I don't want to give you any wrong information. It is all on the website.
I think also with appeals, there will be a period of time where you need to apply for your appeal within a set time frame for it to be heard before the summer, but you may have a delay because of scheduling, but that's what it will be. It's a scheduling issue, not that your appeal hasn't been prioritised. So if you want to appeal and you know what you want to appeal, then all that information is online, and get it done as soon as possible.
Yeah. Like I say, 94.4% of families have got first, second or third choice. So, you know, hopefully that's a road most of us won't need to worry about. But if you do, we've got lots of information on the website, and, you know, don't delay things like that. Do as quickly as you can. Sorry. Oh, I forgot to turn my phone off and my daughter just rings. Sorry about that. There you go. I'll just quickly.
So the next question is, how can one make change to address and school choices, especially if one is living in another county?
Would that all be through your home authority? So all families are asked to apply to the home authority, and then we share information. So any families that live in Worcestershire will contact us, and likewise Coventry, Staffordshire, all of them. We communicate with all of the authorities. Obviously, if you live in Warwickshire and you're moving from Rugby to Stratford, for example, go online, apply again with all your new details. Remember to add any schools that you previously applied for, you know, if you want to keep on there. keep those schools. So
next one is, you can't find my child's admission in the portal. We've definitely submitted the application for a Year 6 child. If you are still in that situation tomorrow, then send through a query form with your child's name, full name and date of birth, and your information and the email address that you would have set up the parent portal with, and we'll be able to look into that for you.
Oh, I've got a really good question here, and this is one that actually most of you probably can take away as a bit of a thought. So when we allocate school places, often, you know, you'll go away, you'll be really happy, even if it's not your first choice, it might be your second, and you and your child are really, really happy about that school choice, and then we can come along and offer your first choice. So yes, technically we should, if you've got a higher preference school, give you that higher preference school and remove the offer that you already had. So for example, you've applied for Higham Lane, you also applied for Nuneaton Academy, we give you Nuneaton Academy, we're then able to offer you Higham Lane. If you don't, if after a time you're happy with Nuneaton Academy and actually you no longer want Higham Lane, let us know in advance and we won't look to allocate you a place there. I think that's what that question is, Ab. I think hopefully I've got your name right. I think that's what you're trying to say. Yeah, so if you're really happy with the offer you've already got, please just let us know that you want us to withdraw any higher preferences. That's all I would say, and you can do that online. Just send us a thing and saying, please withdraw my higher preferences.
You can submit an online query if you're in a neighbouring county,
Yeah, of course, yeah.
But we may always have to refer back to your home LA. But yes, you can send us. It would be that the form is online on our website. And next one, if you've applied for a comprehensive school but need to apply for a specialist school, that will be done through Sendar, and you'll need to go direct to the person that you are allocated through as your Planco. That will be through them and through the school. So that's not through main admissions.
Children with an education, health and care plan, unfortunately, whilst we will keep places for children with an education, health and care plan, we don't allocate places. They're all done through your education, health, care plan co or a Planco, who you should all your children with one of those plans would have a specific person. So yeah, and usually if you're in the process of getting an education, health and care plan, and quite rightly you would have been told to apply for a school place just in case, we will keep that school place for you until the point when we know that you're definitely going to have an EHCP and a place elsewhere. So we'll hold that place for you right up to the 31st of August if we have to. So just for confirmation, last date to apply for grammar schools is also the 28th of March. Well, actually, it's the 31st of August.
Is that for appeals? I don't know if that's specific.
I don't know that.
Applications. Actually. No, I'm not entirely sure what date that refers to for the grammar schools. But grammar schools are mainly in line with mainstream schools, with non-selective schools. So they will have a period of time where they hear appeals in the same way. And you will also stay on waiting list in the same way. So it's similar. Yeah, it's similar. For appeals, it is similar. Yes. So I would do exactly the same thing, because the appeals team manage the grammar appeals also.
Nav, can we put our daughters on a waiting list for grammar schools and accept another preference? Absolutely, yes. Just bear in mind, you'll need to put the grammar schools above the offer that you've got, if that makes sense. So if you've got Ashlawn as your number one preference, but you want to apply for Stratford Girls Grammar, you'll need to apply again, put Stratford Girls Grammar as your first choice, and then obviously Ashlawn as your second, so that we keep that place for you. Gosh, that's a bit confusing. But if in doubt, send a query, go online, put a question in, and we'll check with you. Generally speaking, I don't like to make any major changes to applications unless we're very clear we understand what you're asking for. That's why we really like parents to apply online, because you've got the time and you can do exactly what it is that you want.
The next question is no, published offers shouldn't be published tonight now. They should be going out tomorrow. Yeah.
1st of March. Yeah. So when do I find the online inquiry form? That's on the website. We will also email it to you tomorrow, but yeah, it's like I say, I'm really hoping if we've done our job well, we won't need to hear off most of you other than we accept this school place. And like I say, next year we hopefully will have auto acceptance. We won't even need to hear from you. You know, we're parents ourselves. We know how busy life can be. So if we can make your life as less stressful as possible, we'll be super happy. So yeah, we're really hoping that most of you will be super happy and you'll get on and have super days, and it'll only be a very small percentage of people that we might just need to just make sure we've done everything right.
The breakdown of 23 entry for selective secondary schools, if it's not available now, it will be available tomorrow. It may not be available immediately because it has the qualifying scores on.
I'm just trying to see if I can have a quick look at that.
Or you're still sharing? No,
it's all right. We've been practicing this because, like I said, it's the first webinar that I've ever done, actually, ever. And I obviously didn't want to release all my personal information to you, which I'm sure you wouldn't do anything with. But even so.
So the question is, if we're not happy with the selected school, can we apply for changing school application? So there is information on that where you can change preferences, but we have suggested that you should accept the offer that you have been offered in the first instance, and then you will stay on waiting lists for higher preference schools, and you will have the right to appeal, and you can change your preferences, but we will direct you to change to make a new application online.
Yeah, we're not going to do anything.
We're not going to be doing it over the phone. Yeah.
And you know, I apologise in advance if that causing any angst tomorrow, but you know, I said to our guys, I said, you know, if we can get people to do things for themselves, so we've got more time to help people, you know, with anything a bit more complex, you know, because we want to get through. Last year we had 800 calls, you know, we've got 21 staff. Oh, I've just swallowed something. But yeah, so hopefully, you know, please do as much as you can online, but we will be there available if people need us tomorrow. And hopefully, yeah, just for those, I've had a few questions. We've got some data here. They are on their breakdown of offers. Offer day leaflet plus additional information, and the information about oh gosh, what did we say, accepting a school offer, or this query sheet. That's the query sheet there, this accepting the school offer. So hopefully that's all on our website. Like I say, we try to get everything ready so far in advance this year. You will it's yeah, just so that we're ready and feel confident that we've done a good job, which really, you know, is making sure we look after all of you guys. So right,
if you're moving into Warwickshire, we will need proof of address. So at the moment, if you want to make changes, you should still go through your local authority. Then once you have moved into the area, then you'll be able to, and you can provide us with proof of address, then we can take over your application. So I'd still stick with your current local authority until you're at that point. Would you only need to appeal if you don't get the top of the waiting list for the first preference school? So you can appeal at any time. There are no guarantees. For any amount of schools on your preferences. You have one appeal every academic year. But you can, if you've got 5 preference schools and you're offered your 6th preference, you can appeal for your 5 preferences above. and when you get to the top of the waiting list and there is a vacancy to offer, we will offer it to you. But that is the circumstance that we have to be in. So as far as year 7 applications for September are concerned, we will be waiting for other people to refuse places to be able to have available spaces to offer. So that the appeals is entirely up to you as to when you may want to make that.
You know, and I know websites are always a bit of a concept about navigating, but we've got an appeal website and they've got lots of guidance in there, and they've also got lots of stats in there, like how many appeals were won and how many were heard and all of that business. So like I say, I keep saying it, hopefully most of us will never need to go down that road, but if you do, we've got lots of information online that will help you. Yeah, so hopefully that'll help those of you that need it. So yeah.
There should be a display for selective schools as well as non-selective. It's in the offer day waiting.
Yeah, sorry, so somebody's asked for a breakdown of offers for non-grammar schools, and I've been working on, there it is. So what you can see is the school name, the number of places they've had available, and then the number of offers that we've made. I mean, we've filled up, I think, almost every school. Some of the schools where we slightly didn't fill them, we've got loads of late applications ready, you know, chomping at the bit, ready to fill up places. Yeah, so and if needs be, where necessary, if we think we've got issues, we will contact schools and beg them if we can potentially, you know, get some more places, which we've already been doing. I mean, we don't sit on our laurels. When we know we might need more places, we will work with our schools, and they're all fabulous. All of our schools have been fabulous with us. So yeah. So, and it's really interesting, before I worked at admissions and I've got 4 children, I would never have thought about looking about any of this kind of information, but yeah, it's all there at your fingertips. I think we've answered all the questions. I don't know how many people are here. Is there any more questions, or anybody hands up, or no? Oh, I've got Selena. If I put something in the chat, I don't know if you can open it. I don't know if that works on this. Does anybody know? Oh, let's give it a try. The
inquiry form is on the main page, isn't it, that you were just on?
Yeah, it's here.
There. That's accepting your place, isn't it?
Oh no, that's Synergy. Sorry, yeah. Bear with. Sorry.
That's declining.
There it is. Yeah. So if I put that in the chat, I'm assuming, yeah, we can make that a bit more clearer. Scott, are you all right to put that up as an action?
Yeah.
Just to put in bold inquiry form, just so, because, you know, this has been really useful, because, you know, Selena, you won't be the first. I think it was Selena. Sorry, I don't mean to pick on you. You won't be the first parent, so we'll get that ready for anybody that needs it tomorrow. So that's what it looks like. It's, I know who's got time to fill in a form, but hopefully it won't be too arduous. And then what we've got, just for any of you that are interested, we've got a group of people in the back looking at this form and answering that as they come in. So yeah, we've not just got people on phone. So
I think also one of the questions actually is a really good question. So once you've accepted your offer, then the schools that you have accepted will see that, and the next communication you get will be with the schools, and they are in touch relatively quickly, because they will send you out new starter information on uniforms. They'll have transition days planned with the primary schools, but all of that will then be done through and that's for selective and non-selective. All communication post acceptance will be via the schools.
Joe Brinklow, just to let you know, if you don't live in Warwickshire but you want to appeal a Warwickshire school, you please do contact us. Please do contact Warwickshire. Like I say, really hoping you don't need to, but if you do, go on to that online form, providing it's one of our schools, which I'm assuming they all are, and do that through us. Like I say, patience will be required for any family in a similar position, because we will keep allocating places as they become available. And I knew I was going to get one really difficult grammar school parent question, sorry, one really quite difficult. Is there likely to be any movement to category 8 cut-off score for Lawrence from being 247? And Catherine, I'm going to look at you on that one. I don't think I understand quite what that
where's the question? Sorry,
Ladva.
Okay, hold on, let me have a look.
I'm assuming we don't change cut-off scores.
No, the qualifying scores are are predetermined by the schools, so there won't be any change to the qualifying score, and the category is determined by where the criteria that the schools set. So there is not likely to be any movement on the automatic qualifying score or the waiting list score, and the category you're in is predetermined by the criteria that is set by that school.
Yeah. Yes. Right. Rupali, what happens if I decline a place? Decline a place. That's right. I think what you're talking about is, if we've not offered you any of your preference schools, what happens if you decline the place? Well, again, I strongly urge you not to decline, because you're leaving your child without education. You know, obviously you could electively home educate, but that's most families, that's a big ask. Sorry, Becky, you're in my eye line, and just sorry. So yeah, please, you know, go away and think about it. You will remain on the waiting list. I mean, like I said, we've got, I think it's just over 200 families who we've not been able to give them any of their preferences, but they're mostly, I don't want to go into too much details. It's such a small number. Bear in mind, we've done 7,373 offers, and it's such a small number that we haven't given them any of their preference schools. I really hope that will, you know, yeah. So please don't decline. You know, technically we would have discharged our duties because we've provided you a school place, so we don't then need to give you another school place. So I would really recommend accept your school place. You'll remain on the waiting list, and you've got the right to appeal.
I think the thing to bear in mind with the decline is that there is no guarantee that we will be able to find you a school place that is closer. You are on the waiting list for your preference schools, and if you do decline that place, ultimately you're telling us that you are going to electively home educate at that point, because we have offered you a school place. You're on the waiting list, you have the right to appeal, so we won't be actively seeking to find you another school place, and that school place will then get reoffered to another child, so it won't remain available, because we will have other applications for people moving into the area over between now and the 1st of September, and so those school places do get reallocated to other children. So once you've declined, that place no longer exists for your child. So it's something that you really need to consider carefully before you go through the process of declining a place.
Got a really good question about waiting list numbers. How will we know your waiting list numbers? I really want people to almost forget about waiting lists. I really think, I know we get phone calls, emails every day, every week. I just think you need to have patience. Waiting lists will literally change by the minute. They don't offer any value or offer any assurances. Even if you're at the top of the waiting list, if we have 5 children that move in that live closer than you, or are looked after, or have a sibling at the school, or whatever, you'll immediately become number 6. And we get so many angry parents saying, I was number 1 and now I'm number 10, and they're outraged. We follow the criteria, we follow the admission arrangements. Just have patience. If we can offer you a place, we will do up to the 31st of August before school starts, but you actually remain on the waiting list up to Christmas. Obviously, that's not ideal because your child would have started, but you know, we don't forget about you. But we really, really, you know, would ask that you put your you know, almost try and put it to one side for now, and don't keep asking us for waiting lists, because it really doesn't offer any value, and it's probably going to cause you more anger when we tell you you've moved up or down that list. So I've hopefully got that out there. Somebody's asked about a grammar school, about changing position if they change address. We will need proof of that address, and it will need to be before the 15th of March.
And then it would amend your criteria based on the school's oversubscription policies. So it would change your position on the waiting list, but there's still no guarantee that we would be offering, because it depends on whether there are any places available to offer and where you sit on that waiting list.
Vicky, was with the last offer made criteria column on the figures, does that mean that no children in the next criteria have been offered a place? Yes, that's exactly what that means. We've only offered up to that criteria. So that's really, yeah, that's a really good observation. Can you accept the place and go on the waiting list for another school of a preference? Absolutely, yes. There's just got to be a higher preference. So Fliss, I'm really sorry about the battles you're having to go through. Yeah, an EHCP, education, health and care plan is, you know, that's I speak to families all the time. Yeah, my own nephew's got cerebral palsy, so it's a journey that we're also on. Please try not to worry about what offer you've got until tomorrow. Hopefully we will have given you your first choice, but if we haven't, obviously you've got several things going on at the minute, so try not to worry. Just accept the place that we've offered, and you know, we'll see what happens with your family. And I'm happy to pick this up outside this meeting if you want to. Yeah, absolutely, Fliss, I absolutely share that. So Jodie, wow, so Ulster Academy, you only get in with siblings. That will be the case in some schools, yes, unfortunately. Yuvaji, what's the difference between respect to first and second round of waiting list allocations? Does
there's no difference until we have proof of your address. We can't take into account any new address until we have proof of it. It's just that it's when we look at your application.
Yeah. So we obviously everybody on the waiting list and any new applications up until the 15th of March will be looked at and allocated a school place. And then after the 3rd of April, I think, I didn't want to get too much into dates, any new applications and everybody's still on the waiting list will look again at allocating your school place. Yes, Selena, you're absolutely right. If you have applied for schools outside the county, you'll find out A, on the parent portal, and B, by offer, by email. And if you're one of the 100 people that haven't applied online, you'll get a letter. Yeah, that's it.
And for the grammar school one above, you will go onto the waiting list, and so as and when places become available, and you are number 1 on that waiting list for that school, you would then be offered. It's exactly the same for grammar schools as it is for non-selective schools.
Oh, okay, right. So I think hopefully we've answered you all. Elise, did you answer that one? Sorry.
No, Catherine. I haven't. No, it doesn't automatically mean you're going to get an offer. You'll need to wait for your offer letter.
Yeah, wait till tomorrow. Fingers crossed for everybody. Yes, I wish I could follow it all up with you personally, but no, I'll be with you. Thinking about you all. Yeah, I mean, yeah, we were actually even doing some places up until last night, trying to see if we could get better places where we can. I mean, we literally what time should you expect the email? Before breakfast. So I'm leaving it at that. I'm not going to commit myself to anything else, because we've got an early start tomorrow, and obviously we're having a later night tonight.
And we are beholden to the systems. It's all ready to go,
Yes,
but
we're in
we
the
are
land of the
beholden
gods
to
with
the
the
systems.
systems. Oh God, I feel like crying now. That was such a yeah. I talk fast when I get nervous, so I apologise if I have gone a million miles an hour. Yeah, thank you all for joining us. Like I say, I'm with you all tomorrow. Be thinking about you all. I hope your children all are all super happy. And yeah, we will be, and obviously we're not just on the phones tomorrow. We're here all week, to quote, I think there's a phrase about that. We're here all week. We're here all year.
Yes, we're always here.
Yes.
If you accept the place on Solihull Council website, sorry, just quickly, yes, still confirm with Warwickshire.
Yeah, I mean, they do tell us, Solihull
They do tell us, but please just fill in our form.
I think the saying is,
yeah, fill in the
go
form
online
and accept it with us, and then we'll get it both ways.
Yeah, that was, if not, a little worrying. Oh, well, Jodie, hopefully not too worrying. I really don't want to make any worry. I keep remembering that figure, 94.4%. You know, if you think about that in terms of 7,000 odd offers, you know, that's got to be all of you, isn't it? It's got perhaps, you know, and if there's just a small handful that we'll need to work with directly, I'm more than happy with that. 94.4. So hold on to that. Yeah. Thank you all for having children and giving us a job, because without all of you we wouldn't have a job. So thank you all. Selena, I'm not going to commit to anything other than before breakfast, and if I say breakfast around 8 o'clock, I know
we can't guarantee it, because we are beholden to the system. So although everything is loaded and ready to go, it depends how quickly things get issued. So unfortunately we can't give you an accurate time.
Yeah.